Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October 2021 reading. So I was getting ready for your reading, and I try to get in the energy of the sign. And I have a lot of Sagittarius energy myself, being a Sagittarius moon. But I noticed how nitpicky I'm being right now. And so watch that. Because yes, we're supposed to really be paying attention to details, but I don't want you to pay attention to details so much that you miss the point, that you miss like everything else that's going on. Like it's not ever going to be perfect. And we'll see a little bit more as we get in like to the reading part as to why that might be happening. But yeah, it feels like things really need to be very much your way. But in saying that, talking about your astrology for October, it makes a lot of sense because we have Mercury Retrograde happening, and it's really going to be affecting the way that you are interacting with other people, namely groups and communities. And if if you're a part of some other community, like your work environment. If you go to work every single day and you work with the same people, that is part of one of your communities. Your friendship communities, your family community, your neighborhood, whatever it is, the way that you're communicating and they're communicating to you is going to be so incredibly misunderstood during this Mercury retrograde. We have a time like mid-October where Mercury and Mars and the Sun are all going to be meeting up together. And that's going to be this really big, massive amount of energy all at the same time going on. And there can be like explosions, like literal, like people can explode onto other people, projections like crazy. And I am not telling it, there's really nothing to be afraid of, but if you're out and about and people are just kind of like projecting on you for no reason, and there's really like maybe don't deal with those people, because they're just, October is a very interesting month, and there's like no way to put it lightly to anybody that like this Mercury retrograde is going to kind of be obnoxious and not fun. There's nothing to be afraid of, but it's not going to be a walk in the park, and you have to deal with people like your Mercury retrograde, it's like in a house where it directly affects you like other people. And so really pay attention to how people are approaching you, and how, especially like if you're out and about and, you're out in the community and just kind of trying to have a good day, and people like start projecting on you out of the blue, make sure your boundaries are up, big time. And it's so funny because this is such a specific vision that I'm having in my mind that it kind of makes me wonder like who I'm getting this from. So you'll have to let me know. But I'm literally seeing somebody at like a Renaissance fair. This is that time of year where people go to the Renaissance fairs. And I'm literally seeing somebody at something like that, and they're doing the fighting with I don't even know what it's called, but they're the big rods, and they have the big soft things at the end, and you kind of like you're standing on a wooden ledge, and you're fighting each other, trying to knock each other off, and it becomes much more aggressive than it needs to be. Like that's the vision that I was given. So I don't know who's doing that this year or who's done that or something like that, but that was specifically, and that's really what I mean. It's like the outside world for some reason sees you as a great big target this month, and so for you to know that that's not going to be a thing that you want to happen to you. I don't want everybody to hide away, but at the same time, like, just watch where you're going and what you're doing and the people around you and the energy of it and all of that, because it's going to be a really interesting month. And Most of you are probably just going to laugh it off and be like, wow, these people really have nothing else going on in their lives but to act like this. Yeah, it's going to be one of those really fun things. Oh, yes. All right. And, relationships and friendships and such. You guys, the first card that came out is the Tower. That's interesting. Again, I'm going to say the words, do not be afraid of the Tower. I know that a lot of readers will have that Tower show up and everything is falling apart and everything is like all of the massive changes. And so you're dealing with a water sign. But I also feel like this could be representing the amount of emotions this Tower is going to be creating for you. And it's interesting because it's not making you lose your power any less. So we had the Queen of Cups come up, and then we had the Queen of Wands come up. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not losing anything about yourself, even if this Tower brings a little bit of the extra emotions. There's a shift that's happening, and it has to happen. And a lot of times when it's a Tower moment, it's because there was something in the past that wasn't closed out correctly, or there was no closure, or there was no discussion, or there was no indication that something was awry. Like, for example, you're in a relationship and one of you's not really feeling it anymore, and the other person kind of has an inclination that something's going on but doesn't really think about it much, and they don't get, and they don't realize that it's that big of a deal until one day you show up and say, I can't be in this relationship anymore, we're done. And that person's blindsided because they had no indication, there was no clue, there was nothing going on, no discussion, nothing, right? That can be what a Tower moment is. So whatever it is that's happening in your life that needs to be the change, that needs to be the shift. And the reason why it happens is because you're making space for something else to come along, something bigger, something better, something sweeter. But a lot of times we have to have that moment first in order to realize. The bottom row here, we have the Knight of Cups. There's a whole lot of people in your reading. First of all, let me say, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords came out on the King of Pentacles. So this feels very interesting because I don't know if somebody is keeping information from you like this, because, and what's really interesting about the fact that somebody would be keeping information from you or needs to tell you something or wasn't completely honest or isn't being, just, there's something. Whatever this is, it's gonna come out. I'm like, how do I say this without sounding like a jackass? It's going to come out because the way the energy is going to line up after Mercury goes direct, everything that was either kept during Mercury, because Mercury is going to be squaring Pluto retrograde, and there's just no reason. There's no reason to twist it up or to lie or to whatever it is. So whether it's an earth sign or whether it's somebody that is stable in your life, appears to be like the stable part of your life, there's something, or I don't know, we're going to clarify it in the extended. So we'll get a little bit more information on it, but yeah. It's really interesting. So, but back to what's happening with the Tower energy and the emotions that it's creating. What's interesting is we have these two knights down here, the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, and they're both bringing something into the situation. Like they're both bringing, the Knight of Cups is bringing something that's, like I said, something a little bit sweeter is coming in. The Knight of Pentacles, something a little bit more stable, is coming in. So as whatever this tower is, and again, we're going to clarify that in the extended, and you can get that, all the information to get the extended is in the description box. You can become a member, or you can go to Vimeo and purchase it there. But yeah, all of the information is in the description box for that. But whatever it is that this tower is wiping out during this Mercury retrograde season for you guys, because really it's going to expand. It's going to span the entire month of October. Mercury goes direct on the 18th, but the post-shadow period lasts until November. So, but when whatever this information is, and we're going to figure out, and you know, it may even be something that was... Five of Swords is information. Five of Swords is feeling, the Five of Swords is feeling like you're not getting all of the information, or you're not being told all of the information. There's something that's being left out of the story. Okay? So we will get all of this in the extended. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy October. I'll see you in the extended. Bye.